and welcome to Sports 360, your weekly dose of all big sporting events across the globe. First up, marshalled expertly by MS Dhoni, Chennai Super Kings overcame Kolkata Knight Riders by 27 runs to win its fourth title in the Indian Premier League. With ICC Men's T20 World Cup just around the corner, we will take a look at the 10 players who have had a huge impact on the history of the tournament with their consistent excellence. Denmark joined Germany in reaching the FIFA World Cup finals via European qualifier, while Belgium, Switzerland, Serbia, Russia, Croatia and Portugal ensured they would finish in the top two places in their respective groups. And we will also take a look at some of the next wonder kids across the European football who are set to become stars of the future. And apart from this, we also have our regular segments, Goal of the Week, Player of the Week and the Sporting Moments of the Week. But first up, the cover story you're tracking this week. Chennai Super Kings have been crowned Indian Premier League champions for the fourth time after beating Kolkata Knight Riders by 27 runs in the final. Faf du Plessis hit a terrific 86 of 59 balls and Moeen Ali scored 20 ball 37 as Chennai posted 192 for 3 from 20 overs. It was great to hear Dhoni first talk about KKR and credit them for their success and showing in the UAE leg before hailing his own team. It clearly emphasizes on the fact that cricket comes first before anything else.
Chennai Super Kings beat Kolkata Knight Riders in the final of IPL 2021 to lift their fourth IPL title. Chennai first posted a formidable target of 192 for 3 and then squeezed Knight Riders for only 165 for 9, despite a promising opening stand of 91 between Shubman Gill and Venkatesh Iyer. Putting into bat first, Chennai posted a massive total on the back of Faf du Plessis' brilliant 86 and Moeen Ali's unbeaten 37 of 20 balls. In reply, Kolkata could score only 165 runs for 9 wickets in 20 overs, with the help of Shubman Gill's 51 of 43 and Venkatesh Iyer's 50 of 32 balls. It was canny captaincy that ensured 91 for no loss turned into 125 for 8, and before one realized, it seemed there was only one team on the park. Josh Hazelwood, Ravindra Jadeja got the wickets at regular intervals, but it was Dwayne Bravo whose first 2 overs for 8 runs with 5 dots, which actually became a game changer. Faf du Plessis wins the man of the match for smashing a knock for Chennai. Rituraj Gaikwad, who scored 32 runs off 27 deliveries in the final clash, has won the orange cap. With this, Mahendra Singh Dhoni-led Chennai lifted the IPL trophy for the 4th time, having previously won the tournament in 2010, 2011 and 2018. Sports Desk, DD India.
The World T20 is around the corner and the measure of great player is the ability to perform on the biggest stage, and in T20 cricket, it does not come any bigger than the ICC Men's World T20. Over the course of the previous 6 editions, there have been many stunning individual performances. So, as we prepare for the start of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, let's take a look at the 10 players who have had a huge impact on the history of the tournament with their consistent excellence.
Shahid Afridi, Pakistan, 39 wickets, 546 runs in 34 matches. The greatest wicket taker in the history of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, Pakistan's Shahid Afridi is one of the poster boys of the format, capable of having an impact with the bat and the ball. His crowning achievement came in 2009 when he inspired Pakistan to the title, earning the Player of the Match honours for his performance in the 8-wicket win over Sri Lanka in the final. In that game, Afridi took 1 for 20 with a miserly spell before hammering an unbeaten 54 of 40 balls to see his side home. His 39 wickets are the most of any player in the tournament, while he is just outside the top 10 all-time run scorers with 546, and only Tilakaratne Dilshan has played more than Afridi's 34 matches. Shakib Al Hasan, Bangladesh, 567 runs, 30 wickets in 25 matches. The only player on this list who has not reached at least the semi-finals of the competition. It is mark of Shakib Al Hasan's achievements that he has been so successful despite playing in a struggling side. One of just 8 men who will be playing in 2021, having also featured in the inaugural tournament, Shakib has been one of the greatest all-rounders in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. He joins Afridi as the only players to have scored at least 500 runs and taken 30 wickets in the tournament, and if his performances in England 2 years ago are anything to go by, his taste for the big occasion is only increasing. Samuel Badri, West Indies, 24 wickets in 15 matches. Not quite as prolific as some players on this list, but West Indian spinner Samuel Badri had a remarkable impact on the competition between 2012 and 16. In tandem with Sunil Narine for the first two of those tournaments, Badri showed just how dangerous spinners can be in T20 cricket, opening the bowling for the West Indies. His bowling average of 13.58 is the best in the tournament's history, while an economy rate of 5.52 is second only to Narine. When you consider those figures, it is no surprise that West Indies enjoyed great success during that period, with Badri crucial to the triumphs in 2012 and 2016. AB de Villiers, South Africa, 717 runs, 30 catches in 30 matches. AB de Villiers will go down as one of, if not South Africa's greatest player across all three formats, and he's certainly shown on the global stage in ICC Men's T20 World Cups. His 717 runs are good enough for 5th all-time, and of that top 5, only Chris Gayle has a better strike rate than de Villiers, 143.4. Of course, the Proteas superstar offered more than just his batting. Whether it was as a wicketkeeper or just an outfielder, he influenced the game like few others. De Villiers' 23 catches as an outfielder are 8 more than anyone else in the tournament, with 7 more and a pair of stumpings when he had the gloves on. Tilakaratne Dilshan, Sri Lanka, 897 runs in 35 matches. The 2021 ICC Men's T20 World Cup will be the first tournament in which Tilakaratne Dilshan will not feature, having played more matches than anyone in the competition's history. The Sri Lankan great sits third all-time in terms of runs scored, that is 897, and also contributed to the addition of a new word to cricket's lexicon and a new shot to a batter's armoury, with the Dil scoop that he mastered in 2009. He was outstanding in that tournament, including an unbeaten 96 in the semi-final against the West Indies, as he made 317 runs to be named the player of the tournament. The fact that Pakistan removed him for a duck is probably a big factor in why Sri Lanka lost the final. Chris Gayle, West Indies, 920 runs in 28 matches. The man born to play T20 cricket, Chris Gayle, has made the format his own, and the universe boss will look to make it a hat-trick of titles in the UAE and Oman. Curiously, Gayle has scored 3 and 4 in the 2 finals he has played so far, but the Windies have won them both anyway. In the other 26 matches he has played, he has racked up 913 runs, second only to Mahela Jayawardene. By the end of the 2021 tournament, Gayle will hope to have joined Jayawardene in the 1,000-run club. As destructive as they come, Gayle has smashed 66s in the tournament, nearly double the next most from Virat with 33, and is the only player to have notched 2 ICC Men's T20 World Cup centuries. Mahela Jayawardene, Sri Lanka, 1,016 runs in 31 matches. No one has scored more runs at ICC Men's T20 World Cups than Sri Lankan great Mahela Jayawardene, the only player to have topped 1,000 runs in the tournament. He played in every competition from 2007 to 2014, bowing out in style as he helped Sri Lanka claim the title in his final appearance. In that match, he made a runner ball 24 as Sri Lanka chased down India's total of 130 for 4 to win the tournament for the first time, becoming the first player to make it 4 figures in the process. Among other highlights, he enjoyed a purple patch at the 2010 T20 World Cup when he scored 81, 100 and 98 not out in 3 successive innings as Sri Lanka reached the semi-finals. Virat Kohli, India, at 777 runs in 16 matches. The list of candidates for the best player never to have won the ICC Men's T20 World Cup starts and ends with Virat Kohli. The Indian skipper averages an absurd 86.33 in the 16 matches he has played, with a half-century in more than half his innings. Kohli has been as consistent a player as the tournament has seen. He has been named the player of the tournament in each of the last 2 editions of the competition, averaging more than 100 in both editions, while his lowest score in a knockout game is the 72 not out he scored against South Africa in a semi-final win in 2014.
Staying with cricket, Shardul Thakur had replaced Akshar Patel in India's squad for the T20 World Cup in UAE. Akshar meanwhile joins the list of standby players for the squad along with Shreyash Iyer, Deepak Chahar, The BCCI also said 8 players would be additionally be joining the team's bubble in Dubai to assist the Team India in their preparation for the tournament. Thakur has had exceptional IPL season with Chennai Super King, who finished second in the league and won the 4th title. He has picked 16 wickets in the UAE leg of the tournament. The joint third in the period, Thakur could slot into the seam bowling all-rounder role for the Indian team, currently with Hardik Pandya. However, Hardik didn't bowl during the IPL and he was unable to do so in the World T20 Cup too. Thakur could be in the line to fill that void. Shirat Kumar won bronze medal at the Tokyo Paralympics in the F42 category of the men's high jump event by clearing 1.83 meters. Shirat started with a height of 1.73 meters and cleared 1.77 meters. He failed to clear 1.86 meter in the final attempt, so he took bronze with his best attempt of 1.83 meters. The 29-year-old Shirat Kumar is from Motipur in Bihar and competes in F42 category of the para high jump, and the world number 2's training base is in Ukraine. In an exclusive interaction with our correspondent Suchitra, Shirat shared how he is looking forward for the eventful year.
We have with us Shirat Kumar, who won bronze medal for India in high jump in Tokyo Paralympics. Shirat, Tokyo Paralympics has been a milestone when it comes to Indian para sports, Indian para athletes. How do you look at Tokyo Paralympics? What have they changed for the Indian para athletes, for Indian para sports?
I think firstly it started with the athletes changing it all, because Devendra Bhaiya, when he went in 2003 and now, he went on his own money, and now in 2021 we see everybody's on the tops and everybody's having government support. There are so many MNCs coming, there are so many private sectors also coming for them. And the athletes have done the best job, because they have always stood to their performance irrespective to they had any support or not, and that came first as one medal, then Girisha as a medal, and then to 2016 we got Mariappa, Varun, Deepa Malik ma'am, Devendra Bhaiya again. So these 4 people have actually carried the baton, and they try to show how important Paralympics is, and that's when the recognition started. In the future, I think in 2024 Paris, there's going to be so much, because para sports and Paralympics is in a evolving and also a new revolution that started in the country with Neeraj Chopra's medal in Olympics. So it is in a very right direction right now. I feel that, yeah, it's just going to click now for most of us.
The felicitation ceremonies are still on. So how do you look at that? How important are the felicitation as a mark of, acknowledging the achievement?
I think this is where I'd like to differ. The central government has done a very tremendous job. Right, all the athletes come and receive their money and time and everything, but there is some differences that other states governments are doing. Like some is giving too much of money, and some is not. That is where the athletes, like someone's winning a bronze in another state is getting as much as a gold in one of the states. This has to be looked upon. This is where I think we have to step in and see that it's an equal. This is not just for para athletes, it's for Olympics too. You see how states need to understand how big this is, how big a medal is in the Olympics or the Paralympics.
If you speak for yourself, what has changed for you after Tokyo Paralympics?
For me, I would say nothing, really nothing, because
the fame, the recognition, and your after medal, there was a satisfaction after getting the medal.
No, the reason I'm saying this is because I was admitted in AIIMS after that directly. So I was in the hospital and I couldn't attend most of the events. I'm yet to get my felicitation from the Delhi government. I would say the recognition we got from the central government is what set the rhythm for the para athletes in the country. I would surely vouch and say that if the central government didn't take it, nobody would have known who the para-athletes are. So of course, hats off to them for what they've done. And yes, like the medal is a bronze, but it's a gold for me, especially with the night I went through before the competition. So yeah, see, I'm not satisfied with my performance because I've always done more than that, even in trial and in other competitions. I expect more out of myself, so that's the reason now this is going to keep me going till Paris 2024. So maybe it's a good thing, that I thought, just end it up all in Tokyo and just go home and just lay off. But no, I think they want more from me. The future, the universe wants more from me. So they have given me this opportunity to go to Paris. Let's see.
So there's always a next chance. So what is your next target? What target you have set for yourself?
My coach says that bronze is a perspective. You can always think of winning a silver and a gold, but a gold is a full stop. You don't have anything else to win after that. For me, of course, that is going to be the next target. But we have so many games coming up. We have Asian Games coming up, World Championships coming up. So there's so much of things that is happening. And especially with the COVID maybe under control, I think it will be back to normal soon. Otherwise, God forbid that something like that comes. And again, we are doomed. But I hope it will happen. It's going to be an eventful year for most of the athletes. And especially after the booming of the para revolution right now, there's so many people that are going to take up the sport and so many competition. And it's going to be so entertaining. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So Shirat Kumar is focusing on the eventful year ahead, and he'll try his best to change the color of his medal, and we just hope that he succeeds in all his future endeavors. With cameraman Sumit, this is Suchitra, DD India, Delhi.
Now it's time for the goal of the week. French striker Karim Benzema scored a stunning goal in the final of the UEFA Nations League against Spain. Karim Benzema leveled proceedings with an extraordinary strike. The Real Madrid forward picked up the ball on the edge of the box and curled home a beauty that found the net. And this is Sports 360 Goal of the Week. Now it's time for the history section. 25 years ago this week, Arsene Wenger managed his first game for Arsenal, and 22 years later he said goodbye to the fans after an iconic era. Watch this in history section. Ronaldo scores hat-trick, and Denmark and Germany booked the berth for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Hungary holds England to a 1-1 draw in a game marred by crowd trouble. This and more in this FIFA World Cup qualifier roundup.
Germany became the first team to join host Qatar at the 2022 World Cup with a thumping victory in North Macedonia. Germany qualified for the 2022 World Cup after crushing North Macedonia 4-0 to secure the top spot in their qualifying Group J with 2 games to spare. 2 second-half goals from Timo Werner and 1 each from Kai Havertz and Jamal Musiala lifted Germany to 21 points, with Romania in second place on 13 and 2 games remaining. The Germans, who were eliminated in the first round of the 2018 World Cup and the last 16 at this year's Euros, had an early chance with Thomas Müller header. Denmark became the second European nation to reach the 2022 World Cup after a 1-0 home win over Austria that left them top of qualifying Group F with an unassailable 7 points lead over second place Scotland. The Danes secured their own berth with 2 games to spare as a 53rd minute goal from Joachim Miley helped them to an 8th successive qualifying victory. Denmark have scored 27 goals and conceded none so far in World Cup qualifying, with their run to the finals underpinned by some impressive free-flowing football. For their flair and attacking potential, the Danes did look jittery for long spells against a well-organised Austria side who packed their midfield to cut off the supply routes. England took another somewhat faltering step towards 2022 World Cup qualification when they drew 1-1 with Hungary at Wembley, as they are now 3 points clear at the top of Group I with 2 matches remaining. The game was marred by fighting in the stands between Hungary fans and Baton-Building police just after kick-off, with riot police entering the fray as visiting supporters forced stewards and police packed down a tunnel. Visitors went ahead with Roland Salai penalty after 24 minutes after England fullback Luke Shaw caught a stooping Lochi Nigo in the head as he attempted a clearance. England equalised in the 37th minute when a Phil Foden free kick was flicked on by Tyrone Mings and the ball was turned in by John Stones from close range. A Cristiano Ronaldo hat-trick helped Portugal stroll to a 5-0 victory over Luxembourg in World Cup qualifying Group A. The victory ensures Portugal remain a point behind group leader Serbia and boast a game in hand as well as superior goal difference with 2 rounds of matches remaining. The treble, which meant Ronaldo became the first man to net 10 international hat-tricks, takes his tally to 115 international goals from 182 caps as he continues to extend his lead as the top men's international goal scorer of all time. Portugal had the game all but won within the opening 18 minutes as they raced to a 3-goal lead. Ronaldo struck twice from the penalty spot in the 8th and 13th minute. Sports Desk, DD India.
Spain's Nations League semi-final win over Italy saw the emergence of the latest star to come through Barcelona's academy in 17-year-old midfielder Gavi. Up against the likes of Marco Verratti, Jorginho, Gavi showed no signs of being overawed by the occasion, producing a confident debut to set up the final against France. Spain's future looks bright with Gavi now joining the club teammates Ansu Fati and Pedri on the international scene. Here, Sports 360 takes a look at some of the next wonderkids across Europe in football who set to join Gavi in emerging into the stars of the future. Florian Wirtz, Bayer Leverkusen. Described by German boss Hansi Flick as the complete package, Wirtz is on his way to having an incredible season after also making his international debut last month. Unsurprisingly, he has been dubbed as the new Kai Havertz after the former Leverkusen star, and some of Europe's biggest clubs are already queuing up in line for the attacking midfielder. He is German football's biggest talent coming through, and as long as he stays fit and healthy, then he is certain to have big future ahead of him. Eduardo Kamavinga, Real Madrid. After impressing at Rennes, the 18-year-old sealed a £34 million summer move to Real Madrid after being linked to a host of other top European sides, including Manchester United. The gifted teenager is a complete midfielder who operates in deep area of the pitch but can contribute going forward. It will take time for him to fully break into Real Madrid squad, having started 3 of their 9 games across La Liga and the Champions League so far this season. But manager Carlo Ancelotti has said that he has been surprised by the impact that the youngster has already made, and he's got some of the world's top midfielders over the last decade to learn from Luka Modric, Toni Kroos and Casemiro. Nonu Madueke, PSV Eindhoven. England have a wide array of talented attacking wide players in their squad, but Madueke is one name who has been largely out of limelight playing in the Eredivisie. The 19-year-old winger enjoyed a breakthrough season in Netherlands last season, scoring 9 goals and registering 8 assists. He has started this season in a similar vein as he scored twice in 4-0 thrashing of rivals Ajax in the Johan Cruyff Shield final back in August. Madueke made his England under-21 debut back in March and has started to get buzz with clubs including Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool and Tottenham, all set to be monitoring his progress. Ryan Gravenberch, Ajax. The 19-year-old Dutchman is the latest star to come through Ajax's prestigious youth academy after turning down the advances of Paris Saint-Germain as a 15-year-old. Gravenberch has been a regular in the side since last season, and his performances have led to talk of him being the next Paul Pogba. The Pogba comparison is understandable, with both 6 feet 3 inches tall central midfielder who look to be driving forces for their team, always looking for the forward pass or a run to start attacks. Both also share an agent in Mino Raiola, who could be busy in future over Gravenberch, with some of Europe's top clubs keeping track of his progress over future move. Yusuf Moukoko, Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund have a number of talented youngsters, including Jude Bellingham, who at 18 years old has emerged into a star midfielder who starts every game for Bundesliga side and has been called up by England a number of times over the last years. Another of their young stars is Moukoko, who made his Dortmund debut last November, a day after he turned 16. He scored an outrageous 141 goals in 88 youth team matches and has since gone on to net 3 times in 19 appearances at senior level, becoming the youngest scorer in Bundesliga history. Mukoko already has £9 million deal with Nike and is earmarked to be the future Ballon d'Or winner. Karim Adeyemi, Red Bull Salzburg. Red Bull Salzburg have had some talented striker in recent season, most notably Erling Haaland. Now they seem to have another star, 19-year-old Adeyemi. The Australian league isn't the toughest division, granted, but he is generating serious buzz after netting 3 goals in the Champions League. And it's no wonder Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund are said to be interested. There have been obvious comparisons to Haaland after their Salzburg connection, but he has also been labelled as the next Arjen Robben, who is a player Adeyemi described as his idol growing up. The forward recently scored on his debut for Germany, and it is heavily expected he will follow Haaland and Paston Daka out of the door to a top club in Europe should he continue the way he is going. Sports Desk, DD India. That's all in this edition of Sports 360. Before we wrap up, we leave you with these stunning images where Erling Haaland pulls off a jaw-dropping trick, training by stacking 3 balls and hitting a top corner target every time. Namaskar.
Why are frequent mutations seen in SARS-CoV-2 virus? Efficacy of the available vaccine, but what really makes the unvaccinated most vulnerable?
Majority of mutations, they are inconsequential, and some of the mutation can harm the virus as well.
Sir.
And then when it behaves in a more damaging way, then we say it's a virus.